Welcome back, everybody, to Thanks for Your Concern. You're here with Ella.
And Berenice, what's up?
We are
Ella.
so excited to have you back. This episode, we're going to do like a little thankful for, a Thanksgiving theme of all the things that we're thankful for in our lives. But before we get into it, Berenice, how was your Thanksgiving? How have things been?
Thanksgiving. I spent it alone in New York. I keep telling myself that I don't need to go home for the holidays, and then the holidays started to come around and I'm like, I should have gone home. She's just a little extra of a touch of extra nostalgia, a little extra lonely, a little, I don't know. It was giving emo. I was an emo sad girl hours all of last week, and obviously I'm very thankful for things, and I wanted to go volunteer, and but it's just still, there's been a lot. There's been a lot of emotions. I just feel like I had to work through. Nothing bad, nothing crazy. But it's just you grow up, you move away from your family. You have to think about, is this what I want for the rest of my life? What's my plan? So it was a really introspective time. So I thought about a lot of things that I'm thankful for. So it's like right on the money that we have this theme for today. What about you?
Y'all, so I've been put in charge of baked mac and cheese for Thanksgiving, and that's a big deal, okay? The baked mac and cheese, like that's like A1. That's like right up there with turkey, as in like they only assign that to like the best of the best. And it has not been my best work, okay? I think
No.
making baked
Okay.
mac and cheese for 20 people, it just I wasn't proud last year, okay? But we came back, and this year, after like my third attempt, it was perfect, okay? And I just want to say this is like a metaphor for life. Don't give up on the baked mac and cheese too early.
Oh, it's a metaphor.
Yeah, I just mean like just try and try again, Like it took me 3 fucking times to get it right, to get it to where I'm like feel very proud of it. So, I don't know. I felt like I almost gave up. I almost was like, I can't do this. This is too hard. But I
That's
got a
not
good
like
recipe.
you. That's not like you.
I know. I think the reason is because I was trying other people's recipes, and guess what?
No.
This year, no fucking recipe, bitch. I went from I just went with my body what I was like, I think this is right. I think I should
ignore these. You vibed it out.
I vibed it out, and I ended up coming up with a better recipe than every recipe. It's not a better recipe. It worked out better me being like, you know what? Actually, I don't like this. Just because it's in a recipe doesn't mean I have to go with it exactly. And so for like the third year, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna trust my intuition that I know what's fucking best with this whole situation, and it worked out. And I feel like very proud of the baked mac and cheese recipe. Check out my TikTok if you're interested, but I was really proud of myself.
Ella is a great cook. When we used to live together back in college, she did all of the cooking, and I just, tried to be as nice as I could be.
Berenice has a specialty. She makes Mexican soup. I know it has a name. What's the name?
I don't know.
I don't know. But okay, so it is good soup, right? It's good soup when she's making it in her prime. But there'd be times where I would wake up the next day, and the main ingredients are onions, pastina, tomatoes, and broth. And sometimes it'd be hitting, and then sometimes I would go into the kitchen and I'd be like, well, this was half made. There'd be just bits of onion chopped off the main onion.
So what happened was that when I got drunk in college, I I love soup, and I don't know why I didn't just make ramen. I wanted to chef up the soup that I honestly haven't made in years. Maybe I should probably get back into it, but it was my college specialty. Honestly, I feel like everybody said it was good and ate it because we were all so hammered that they were like, yummy, yum, yum. But truly, there was way too much tomato paste in there, not enough seasoning. I'm thankful that the homies, they never complained about it, but I could not tell you that was good soup.
We'll have to re-bring it back and check it out.
Yeah.
Are you ready to get into the episode?
Yes, please.
Okay. right, everybody. Thankful for all the things we're thankful for. Honestly, I've been like really trying to work on. No, I haven't been trying to work on. I've been doing like gratitude when I think about it, just like my little like list of things that I'm thankful for. And I swear to God, it has like helped me like live a more fulfilling life because I'm like more cognizant of these like little things that like bring me joy. So
Yeah.
I would like highly recommend just writing it down. And if you feel shitty, just write out all the things that you're thankful for. Because even when things are going terribly bad, you can find 5 things that you still appreciate in this life.
100%. I think I took this up last year when I was back in the saddies era, and it's just something I do when I wake up every morning, even if I'm like not having a good morning. Like the first thought in my mind isn't positive. My second thought is like I am so thankful for A, B, and C. It usually starts like with my family members. I'll get more like specific just to get my mind on like the right place and just be like, I'm thankful that I just have today to be a human being, to choose a different path if I need to. Like, I think sometimes we forget we have choice, right? So it's like life is what you make it. So let's make it rock. And that is something to be grateful for.
Hell yeah.
But we do want to get into like some of the things we're specifically grateful for. We were grateful for this year. Some of them are hee hee ha ha. Some of them are for the reals. So let's get into it.
I feel like I wanted to be thankful for, well, music in general, but I got to see Lana Del Rey this year, which was
Ugh.
super fucking cool. And one of my,
Yeah.
I would say my favorite song by her is Radio. Obviously, a great song. She has so many bangers, but that one's my
Of course,
favorite.
of course. Yeah, you
And
know, we owe her half of her personality.
I
Like,
know,
who would
right?
we be without Lana Del Rey? Like, I don't know. I maybe happier human being, but like, I don't know.
Honestly, I would say that's probably like her happiest song, which I think is funny that that's the song that resonated with me this year. But it's like, you know, my life is like sweet like cinnamon, just like the dream that I'm living in. And it's, I honestly feel like I am living in a dream sometimes because like I feel like I'm very aware of like who I wanted to be when I was little, and like the fact that I am her like just brings me so much joy, you know? And so
Yeah.
some people, they have like, I don't know, like everyone has a different dream, but I just remember being like, I want to fucking have a closet and I want to be able to buy whatever I want and live in a cool apartment and I want to have a dog, and that was like all I really wanted when I was 6, and like I have all those things, and like so sometimes I really do feel like I'm living in a dream. And so that song that I listen to probably every single day, it's definitely going to be in the Spotify Wrapped. I don't know, just music in general, but that song fucking I'm thankful for.
Music is life, man. I don't know if I would get through the day without it sometimes. It has become something I'm very dependent in. Is that a good thing? I don't know. But you know, whatever gets you through the day has been my motto as of lately. One song that I'm grateful for this year is Barbie by Jaden. That's a messy ass story behind all that, but like the song itself, I'm a bad little bitch and I'm snitting like a Barbie. Hips, hips. His favorite motherfucker. Hello, motherfucker. Like, wow. Something about that just like really hits all the right places. If you need a little pump up song, if you just need a feel good moment, like that's it. Like everybody feels like a bad little bitch when they listen to Barbie.
I'm honestly so thankful that music exists and like that I embody it. And you know, sometimes I can't really decipher whether I'm delusional or not. And I think part of it is because like I listen to this music and I'm like, yes, like you know, like I am, I am that girl. ITGIRL.
IRL.
I am
You know,
that girl.
I am that
That
girl.
girl.
Bitch, don't kiss and tell.
Yeah, yeah.
This is not a
That's,
musical episode.
I'm
Sorry.
just saying, I'm saying, I literally all day, every day, I listen to that, and it's like, I am that. And then someone says I'm delusional, and I'm like, maybe, maybe not. Maybe you're delusional.
You know, there's a lot of power with music to change your mood, to just get you in the right feels, to help you process emotions, to help you heal. So, whatever, honestly, like, makes you feel good, I think that you should always dive into the delusions. Like, thank God for the delusion. Sometimes that's all there is, right? Like, sometimes we just, like, if we're in a bad place, we just gotta believe in the delusions, like, a little bit. I don't think there's anything wrong with that as long as they're not, like, affecting other people. Like, if your delusion is that you're gonna be the baddest bitch in the world, you gotta believe it to be it. So believe in the delusion, dive into it, get a fire playlist that correlates with the delusion. Before you know it, you're a bad little bitch and snip like Barbie.
Perfect.
Yes. Something I'm thankful for, obviously the homies. Not a lot of people made it this year.
Major cuts to the roster, to the homie roster.
And I'm thankful for that too. I think that you can always dwindle down your numbers and keep your shit tight. You know, we like to keep it real tight on this podcast. No, because okay, like on the real, okay? I've been around situations where it's like, oh, my friend is like hitting on somebody like they used to date, whatever, and I'm like, couldn't be me. Like, I keep it real tight in this family. Like, loyalty is big for me. So I'm grateful for the people that are in my life that I feel like really have my back, because if you have people in your life that are like low-key haters, like there's people like that you just get a weird vibe from. Like, they're there and it's like a weird hype, but you're not like fully with it. Like, why? What's the motive? What's the reasoning behind it? Like, are you my friend? Or are you not my friend? I don't like that. I don't like wishy-washy. I don't like fake behavior. So for the people that are truly there, for the people that show they love, care about you, the people that call you out of the blue just to ask you how you're doing, like, those are the people that like truly matter. So I'm thankful for the homies and the people that have stuck around and the people that have just worked with me and the people that have listened to my boundaries and respected my boundaries. That's a big one.
Ayo.
Yeah.
That's really beautiful. I think listening to boundaries and respecting boundaries are like two huge things. And like to have more than like, I don't know, like three good friends is so cool. Like three people that you can just really fucking count on no matter what. So if you have more than that, it's like, oh, I'm so thankful for that. I'm very thankful for my problems. And I know it's going to sound weird, but like, I feel like I used to have like a lot of really difficult problems, and now my problems, I'm like, girl, I'm thankful this is my only problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
Yeah.
thankful I'm just tripping about this instead of that. And I feel like I've kind of like, I don't know, none of my problems are like isolating anymore. Like, I feel like they're things that everybody has to deal with. Like, everyone has to deal with like an aging parent. Everyone has to deal with like, you know, difficulties here and there, and like, I don't know, reframing my problems, quote unquote, as difficulties that every human being has to deal with and figure their way out, their way through, has been really helpful this year. And I feel like that's something different I've been doing, is just like been like, let's be realistic about this problem. It's unavoidable. Like, we're not going to avoid death or, you know, anything. I've been like spiritual Buddhism in a way, you know, where it's like life is suffering. You just got to have to figure out how to deal with it. And I've been thankful for that this year,
I mean, I
trying
think
to
that
figure
just
out how
comes
to
with a
deal with
lot
it.
of like self work, right? I think that you just probably have better coping mechanisms now that you used to. 'Cause sometimes, like, when you have an issue in your life and you're not good at like dealing with your emotions, everything seems like really big. And when you
Yeah.
learn how to control your emotions and you learn about your emotions and how your brain works, I think it makes all those problems just seem a little more manageable.
Yeah, thank you for coping. Thanks for therapy. You know, all of it. Bitch went through a lot of therapy this year. It's
Ooh.
it's actually kind of, this is fucking hilarious. Well, this is really funny, is that like I was at like Thanksgiving and I was talking about, oh, me and my therapist were I was talking to my therapist about, and I just like said it, and someone was like, oh my god, it's really brave that, you know, you're open about going to therapy. And I was like, I mean, clearly,
Is it?
I was like, well, first of all, this is a family dinner. We should all be in therapy. Thank God I'm actually there, you know? But second of all, I was like, I don't know if it's that brave to acknowledge that you go
Need
to
help?
therapy,
You need
like
a
need
little
help. Like,
assistance? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's that brave. But I just thought that was funny that at least I can like, I guess I'm thankful that I feel comfortable enough on this podcast and IRL just to openly talk about my mental health struggles. Like, you know, even like at work, like obviously I think you should keep some things hush hush because you never know when
Yeah.
things are going to be used against you. But there are some times where it's just like, you know what? I'm just going to take a mental health day, and it's like, yeah, totally. That's
Yeah.
thankful for that.
Thankful for the mental health days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am another thing I'm thankful for. We always talk about how the universe like and how I feel about my life being a horror satire. Just funny things happen to me that I'm like, that's low key like the worst case scenario, but it's also like kind of funny. So thank God for humor in my life. Thank God that one of my defense mechanisms is just straight comedy. Like, let's
Yeah.
just turn this into a funny, haha. And I think this year, something that I really like wanted to manifest to the universe is like, please show me what I need to see, but show it to me gently. And that's something that I had never really put energy into asking for fruition, whether you pray, whether you're spiritual or whatever. I think that's just like a big change where I'm like, I am ready to see like what I need to see. I'm embracing change. Like I'm open to the things that I need to experience in my life, but just asking for them to come a little more gently than they did before. I feel like sometimes before I'd have to learn lessons in life and it'd be like so graphic that I'd be like, I'm stupid. Like I love pictures, so I love watching that man that I used to be in love with like make out with another girl in front of me. And now I feel like obviously having gone through that, if it happens again, it's not that big of a deal. Or I mean, depends the situation. But but like now it's more like show me signs where I choose to get out before we get to the point where I'm like overtly emotionally invested in somebody that isn't there with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the gentleness that the universe has given me, as in the past few months. It hasn't been like the easiest months, but it's been not the worst it could be, and I'm thankful for that.
Dude, you got a lot. Like, what is it? Like, you have to laugh to keep from crying. I sometimes.
We do both.
I do both,
We just
right?
do both. Yeah.
But I feel like finding humor in things is probably like the best life skill and coping that you can do is finding the humor and the comedy in it because I mean, there's something funny about like having well, when I got in a car crash, like me and my cousin were just kind of fucking like joking and laughing about it, even though it was like a near death experience because like it wasn't that funny, but it's just like the fact that we could laugh at it. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
god, well, thank God we can laugh at this shit. There's
Yeah.
you can choose how you can react to things, and sometimes laughing isn't always appropriate, but a lot of times it can be.
It can be. I had like a funny experience this past weekend. I like went to Dioro and I ran into like an ex that I hadn't really like talked to in a year. And I always like kind of wonder like what our interaction would be if we ever spoke to each other because we just like pretend we don't know each other.
Mm.
And I like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Go back to ignoring
But
me.
go back to ignoring our existence.
Yeah.
But I was at Dioro and Loki, like this was Mexican family party central. So everybody there was like lit to the point, like messy lit, like coherent, no one. So I'm going to the bar with my friend and I run into one of my exes. But the thing is, I didn't know he was my ex because he was like kind of low to the floor, like getting down. And I was like hyped and like I have a thing that's called like twerk for Dioro. So I run up to this man and I'm like, yeah, baby, like that's the energy I like to see. He looks up. It's little lying man, dude. Like honestly, like he looks up and literally make eye contact and we're like
You're like,
like
I never mind.
yeah, because like that's just so crazy, but at the end of the day, like it was honestly like probably the most perfect interaction. I mean, the follow was fucking stupid, but the fact that like that is how our interaction went of like we have the universe just like added it up to be like we had to look at each other in that moment without there being like weird tension. I mean, after like when I was coming back, he tried to give me like a little sprout. It was weird.
No.
I did not take the olive branch and now we've been fighting on the internet again. But
Oh.
like things are fine. I think there's still comedy to it. Yeah, so just, the universe might hand you a funny and just take the funny and run with it.
I mean, it's just fucking material, dude. You gotta start doing stand up.
I should.
You
Like, I
should.
got some good stories. I got good material.
And I mean, honestly, like like let me just like put that out there. I think everyone should like try stand up. I think it's a very fun, low, like whatever. You should do it. But it does like it's kind of like I don't want to say like perverse in a way, but anything something bad happens to you, you're kind of like how can I make a joke out of this? And then you find ways to make jokes out of things, and you're like, wow, like shit is just fucking funny. I think
Yeah.
like I mean something that happened that's not that it is kind of funny, but my dad became allergic to shellfish recently and there was like a whole incident whatever. This man was literally like about to like die and he was not wanting me to drive because he was like I don't know if I trust your driving. And I was like I'm trying to take you to the hospital. What are you talking about? It was just really funny. And he was cracking jokes at me. I was like, this is hilarious. And then me and my dad were just joking about him being allergic to shellfish at 70. Obviously, like, it would have been a very stressful experience being in, like, a fucking emergency situation with me and my dad. But just because we have the same type of humor, we're just, like, kikiing and, like, honestly roasting each other, like, back and forth. And I don't know, like those are the moments where I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna be very thankful for that in the future, like when I like can think about how we joked about that instead of me being like stressed out and like fucking freaking out and shit, which I feel like you can
For
easily
why?
freak out of shit. You can freak
Yeah,
out shit, but
yeah.
like for what?
For why? Just, you're gonna wake up the next day, it's gonna be a new day.
Yeah. Oh my
um,
gosh.
yeah, we're grateful for not spiraling as much as we used to this year. And along that comes, I'm thankful for the people who have fumbled me.
Yep.
You know, thank
Just
you.
yeah.
Thank you for allowing me to go raise my standards and find better, like for reals. Also, like as you fumbled me, thank you for teaching me how to play the game. Recognizing that there is a game to be played. I didn't know that people were on such bullshit consistently, but now I feel like once you get that, not everybody has the best intentions or how people kind of navigate their own emotions. I don't even know if it's like a game, but it's more like everybody's going through such like personal experiences that are not like lining up with people that it feels like it's a game because somebody's here, somebody's there, somebody kind
Yeah.
of wants to keep you but they don't know how and they're not in the place that they can. It's funny, but yeah, I think I realized that I was in the game this weekend when I was going to do Dioro and it was like a birthday present from like this dude and like I was grateful for it, but like he lied to me and then he tried to slide back into the DMs and I was just like, sir, like regardless, I told you like I don't fuck with liars. And and then another man that I used to talk to was like wanted to come last minute and I was like, yeah, you can come with us. And then he ended up like driving us to the show and I was like, oh my god, like it's been so sweet. Like like I haven't had to this whole thing has been sponsored. And then I ran into another ex, and I was just like, whoa, what a day. What a day. But I came out of that like feeling totally good, like not being affected by any of these people. So I was like, maybe I have learned a little bit on how to play the game in the sense of like controlling my emotions, letting people show who they are to me before getting super invested and knowing when to get the fuck out. Like that has been a huge lesson for me this year that I am super grateful for. If they fumbled you, thank them. Like they saved you. They saved you. Say bye.
It's like interesting because just sometimes you're just thankful things didn't work out and you're like, you know what, that could have gone like if you had acted right for like 3 months, maybe I would have been more invested into you. And you're just kind of like, I'm kind of happy you fumbled and that I could pick myself up and not
Be in
lose it.
shambles.
Yeah, just be in
Maybe we could even be
shambles.
friends. Like, oh my god, that's been
Yeah.
my new one. Yeah, I was like, I'm working so much and being mature enough to tell when a situation is going south and be like, okay, I would like to just like stay friends and like drop this, and how to do that without being super emotional. Because I'm an emotional girl,
Oh yeah.
And some people want to be disrespectful, but I think if you keep it in a level where you say your boundaries, somebody respects them, and you're able to look at a situation without it taking it too personally, you can get out when you need to, and you're gonna be good. You know what I
Girl,
mean?
that's on maturity.
Thank you. But I actually like to thank Beyonce for this one. What's that song? What goes around comes back around. The best thing I never had.
Mhm.
because I did realize that the people that fumbled me ended up just not being the people I thought when I was into it. You know, sometimes you get into something and you like their potential. You like kind of see who the people they could be, or sometimes they lie to you and you're just in it. But like they turn out to be horrible people. So maybe if they fumbled at the beginning, you got to believe the universe and you get out because you just don't know what's coming. You know, everything happens for a reason. Maybe it is the best thing that you will never have.
My favorite Beyonce song is like Lemonade, and in that song she like busts somebody's window. And I
Oh,
sometimes
oh,
think she also just looks so good doing it. So I feel like, but the thing about that song that I just like, I mean, a lot of Beyonce's music that I love is that like it is some. It's like never your fault when someone else fucks up.
yeah,
When someone else fucks up, when someone else fumbles, when someone else fucking steps out, like my mom likes to say, step out. She always says like when someone steps out, or are you guys going steady? But that's never your fault, babes.
no, it's
I
not.
feel bad for people that have to deal with that because obviously it's painful and it hurts, but it is never your fault. And sometimes you have to let people. One door closes so another one opens. So when someone fumbles the bag with you, that just like leaves your life open for opportunities.
Yeah, and you learn from the situation. Everything's a lesson in whatever way that you want to spin it, right? Like but yeah, thank you. Thank you for fumbling me. I will be moving on. This is 2024 is about new opportunities, new people, new things. We're leaving the 23 and the 23. We're thanking them. We're giving all the kiss, 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 kiss.
Yeah, it's like giving 2023 its flowers. We're ready for like the 2024. 2023 has been good to me, but yeah, I'm excited. I mean, thank God I'm in a place where I'm thankful that I'm excited for the future. I guess sometimes you're like things were looking grim, but then you're like, oh my God, babes, we're excited. Something else I'm very thankful for, and like I don't know what it is. Well, I know what it is, but recently I've been so obsessed with like Mother Nature and animals and birds. Babes, I have a pair of binoculars. I cannot recommend binoculars enough because you could just see things from far away up close. Okay, and
Yeah. That's kind of
yeah,
what binoculars do.
I'm just saying. Unless you've, when was the last time you looked at a pair of binoculars?
Not in a minute.
Okay, I'm telling you, the concept seems really simple, but when you actually are looking in binocs at an animal and you're like, oh my
Wow.
God, wow. So I
That's
saw,
real life.
yeah, and I saw last weekend, I went on a little hikey hike. I saw a bald eagle snatch a salmon out of the water, and I saw it tear it apart with its talons, and I was like, holy shit, because that was kind of random, right? I couldn't plan that. I was just walking, minding my own fucking business, and this bald eagle came out of out of nowhere. Literally came out of nowhere and snatched up the salmon. That is a once in a lifetime thing that I saw, and it's like it's so weird to like raw dog nature. Like you just see it like not in a zoo where it's like curated for you, but you just see it out like IRL.
You're part of the
I
ecosystem.
know, and you're like, holy shit! Like, I mean, honestly, it's so crazy to think that like there's so many ecosystems like alive and thriving. Actually, they're not alive and thriving. They're doing really badly, like global warming. But I think we forget about we're not the only. We are like the center of our own universes, and you forget there's a whole universe that doesn't give a fuck about you. That eagle doesn't know who I
Yeah.
am. They don't give a fuck about me.
Yeah. No, they don't. They don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah. So you just like live your best life. No one gives a fuck. No one's watching you.
Respect nature.
Respect nature.
Period. I'm thankful for TikTok. Because last year when I was being messy depressy and I didn't have eyebrows, I went on the internet and I said, I need rape friends. It's like everyone I've met is horrible. Like I don't want to be alone anymore. And sometimes if you ask the universe provides. So I ended up meeting a lot of lovely people, one of them who's like a really close friend of mine now. And, I'm grateful to have a platform that you can just reach out to different people. Obviously, if you're going to do this, like be safe, meet in public places, don't play yourself, be smart. But I think as like I am grateful for social media and the opportunities it has given me. So yeah, is not always the best. It is a little toxic. Like the other day, I wanted to take a break from Instagram. It's just because, like the mental health was bad. And at the same time, I like wanted to message this like music festival I wanted to go to because I wanted to do some whatever. And then I was like, oh shit. It turns out like for me to want to make money off social media or like, do anything with social media, you have to be in social media consistently. So, just give and a take, everything, balance. But I'm trying to focus on the uppity, the positive of social media.
Well, I honestly am thankful for my haters, okay? I'm thankful because I feel like I feel like it's pushed me further into my delusions because I'm like, you know who also gets hate? Taylor Swift, Beyonce, I'm like Tana Moja, Trisha Paytas. Literally, so many people get hate on the internet that I just like now feel like it's like one of those things where it's like you become immune to it because it's like everybody gets hate, but then it's like I don't know, like I don't, I just am kind of loving it because I don't know. There's something satisfying about someone disliking you and then for you to still be like happy and loving your life, It's like, it's just like, oh, you know what? That's fucking hilarious that you think I'm ugly because, bitch, I don't care. There's just something funny about it and it makes me.
It does definitely help your self-esteem when like people are being rude to you and you just like really have to trust who you are and like look within in any circumstance, because now even if like a man is mean to me or somebody on the street, I'm like, okay. Like I think we were outside of a club and some people were having an altercation and they turned into like my friend group and I started calling the girls that I was with like that, and I was just like could not be bothered. Like obviously you should never do that. People are so vile.
Yeah.
Like if you want to pick names, like that's so stupid. But like for me, like obviously other people got triggered. For me, I was just like, it's just another day in the life of getting bullied.
I know. It's just like
I'm desensitized
I know.
by now.
I feel like I'm like, you guys are bullying the wrong person because I'm eating it up. I'm like,
I know somebody commented the thing the other day, and she's like, "I already don't like her about me," and I'm
oh
like,
yeah,
"Right, that she's insufferable." I feel the same way.
yeah. I
I
mean,
was like, imagine living in her brain, bro. Like that's crazy.
but you know what? On that note, like we do get good feedback. We do get good feedback too, and so I vibe with that. I'm thankful for this podcast. I talk about it with my therapist, just about how like thankful I am just to have like a positive outlet, and I think that's another reason why the hate kind of just like skims over me is because it's like, okay, you could say what you want about us being delusional. That's the biggest one. Us being super delusional. Somebody says like, "Bitch, you're not the center of the world." And I was like, "I'm the center of mine." Duh. But you cannot say that we're spreading hate here. This is all love, baby, and I could feel good about that. And we get little messages. We got a message from homie who's worried about pornography and hookup
What?
culture. I don't know, dude. That one was a weird one, but he's worried about hookup culture into dating and hookup culture in today's society. And I said, you know what, scary times, but just work on yourself. And the people that you're
Yeah.
able to reach and just try to be positive. I'm the best version of myself on this podcast, and like I go out into the real world and I'm a better person because I fucking refuse to be like a faker,
Yeah.
Practice what you
I
fucking
do
preach.
practice what you preach. I'm grateful. Yeah, also for the podcast, I have a platform to be the realist version of myself. Not everything I say every time, like obviously, is like gonna be right or whatever, but it's what I feel and it's what I believe at the moment that I'm saying it. So yay. And I'm thankful for people who listen every week and also tell us when our shit isn't uploaded correctly.
Oopsies.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't always get up, and the first thing I do is not to listen to the podcast. So if you catch it before I catch it, thank you.
I was gonna say we
All
make
right?
mistakes.
We're not perfect. It's a two-woman show here.
And honestly, to that effect, I feel like I'm very thankful for like the moments of clarity when I feel really proud of myself, not just in this podcast, but just in life. Like I feel like I've had so much more self-esteem recently because I feel like I've been like doing everything that I've been wanting to do. And I think that if you're someone who like feels like you're not doing enough, maybe reflect on all that you are doing and like write it down. Like that has been a big thing, is that like I've been recording everything that I do so that it doesn't just go into the void of it just doesn't go into the void. And I thank myself. I say, thank you for doing your laundry. Thank you for walking your dog. Thank you for doing your dishes. Thank you for doing your skincare routine. We love that for you, Queen. And thanking myself for the things I do on a day-to-day basis to keep me alive, 30, and thriving. Best I've ever looked.
You're not 30
I know,
yet.
I just like that 30, flirty, and thriving. I just
not
like that
yet.
saying.
You don't get to coin that yet.
I'm
She's
so
a
excited to be
poser.
29
And living it up.
and living it,
And
sliving.
living it up.
I said, I tell everyone, are you living or are you sliving?
Yeah,
Just to do a
that's
little
what you
check-in.
tell 'em?
Yeah, just to do a little check-in with people. Because
Okay.
sometimes people are living, but they're not sliving, and vice versa.
Oh, 100%.
So when people are like, oh, I'm doing good, I'm like, are you living? Are you sliving? Are you just going through it day by day? How can I help you?
Yeah. We're barely getting through some days.
I know. Well, I know.
Oops. Yeah. But still grateful. Grateful for the homies.
That's the list, baby. So if you are listening to this podcast, please go subscribe to our YouTube. It would mean a lot to me. And also make sure you review this and rate it, and I'll tell a friend about it. We're so thankful to have you here every week.
You can find us on Instagram. Things number 4, your concern. I'm at Bernice ADSM.
And I'm at Ella L Tutor. Like always, we love ya. Bye.
Love ya. Bye.